that particular day. So that way it's always at the forefront of people's mind. This is something that this church does. This is something that we do who's a part of the church. This is something that we all participate in. This is a church thing. This isn't a minister thing. This isn't an elder thing. This isn't a pastor thing. This is a church thing, and it's something that we all get involved in. And so, y'all talk to me about some ideas that we can do to kind of keep the church keeping this move going, because we don't want this just to be one series that happened. We don't want this just to be one series, one service where people came to be ministered to on the message of evangelism being imparted to. We want to keep this thing going from now on. I'm not sure. I don't really remember, because I don't really remember faces and people whenever I'm praying for people. But was there any of you all that came up on Sunday for that evangelist? I know Elder Beverly did come up, but because I know that she made a stir about it last week about wanting to be in service, and so I know that she was there, and I saw when she came up. But was anybody else in there on this past Sunday when we're not just in there, but did anyone else come up? When I was laying hands? Okay, Elder Angel came up. Was anybody?
Teresa came up. Teresa came up.
Okay, Elder Teresa came up. Was there anybody else that came up?
Miss Cynthia.
Okay, Miss Cynthia. Is she on tonight? No.
No, I'm
okay.
Saying,
okay. Well, what I want to do is do something, like I said, where once a month we do some kind of something, and I want you all again to kind of really get in this conversation with me, give me some feedback about what you all feel that we all can do to keep that thing going. What Sunday you think it should be on with? Because I know right now, first Sunday is what is it? Communion Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
First Sunday is Communion Sunday. Second Sunday is what?
Baptism Sunday.
Okay, so it's not really a particular Sunday as far as things that happen during the service then? No. Okay. All right. So then if it's let me see, we got Communion Sunday, Baptism Sunday, but that's not something that actually happens during service. What's third Sunday?
Theme Sunday.
No, just theme.
It could be
nothing for the service.
It's a regular service, but it's theme. We do different themes, like a color or something like that, a theme.
Oh, okay, like when you guys wear like cowboy wear or something like that.
Right.
Okay.
That's third Sundays.
That's third Sunday. What's fourth Sunday?
Casual, and so is fifth Sundays.
Okay, so as far as focuses for the actual church service itself,
no,
we don't have none of those except for Communion Sunday.
No,
that's right.
Okay, so what do you guys think about making a Sunday evangelism Sunday?
Probably a fourth or fifth Sunday, I would say, because those are casual Sundays.
Okay, well, there's only 3 fifth Sundays in a year, so I don't know if we want to do that. We want to keep that on a monthly basis. So
not fifth Sunday.
It could be.
We can do a fourth Sunday.
Fourth Sunday?
A fourth Sunday, yeah.
I agree.
Okay, so fourth Sunday can be well, again, I've not even talked to Pastors Allen and Noel. Y'all let me know if y'all in agreement with this. I think it'll be good to have a particular Sunday that the whole church focuses on evangelism, and we, focus on it leading up to that Sunday, and everybody knows on that Sunday, even if you've been bringing people all along, everybody wants to focus that particular Sunday to actually bring somebody that Sunday, whether you've already ministered to them, whether you're just inviting them, whatever the case is, everybody focuses on bringing somebody.
But
Pastor Noel, Pastor Al, what y'all think about that?
I'm fine with it.
You're
muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I'll let everybody else speak.
Okay.
Yes. Every time but I'm fine. As long as everyone is willing to participate. That's my thing. You mean everyone to say they want to do it, but then when it's time to do it, I mean the people don't want to do certain things. So I want to make sure if we are going to do it, that means from the top to the bottom, from the pastors to the elders to the ministers to the ministry of helps, everyone is participating without any excuses. So that's my thought is. You mean I don't want to hear anything else other than that. So if we're going to do it, I'm fine, but I want all participation. But if not, then but I don't want to start something. That's one thing I know, even when I don't like saying this, but we was always at Azusa. Everybody was excited about doing it, but then the follow through wasn't there. So,
We have to stop.
and I don't want to start something and no one want to be a part, don't finalize it. So if we're going to do it, let's do it. If not, let's not even entertain it.
So let's do it. No, I've got a question. Okay, so not that I'm not going to do it, but what does it entail?
Thank you for asking that question. I like that.
What does it, what should we be doing? I know we should be always, inviting people to church and witnessing, but so what is going to be special about that, the fourth Sunday?
I believe what we can do is we can do something during the service. Well, not during the service, but make the whole service like evangelistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not just about bringing people on that Sunday, but we do things on purpose that when people come, it's a real evangelistic Sunday, that we know that that's going to be a Sunday where we're believing God for healing. That's going to be a Sunday we believe in God for miracles. That's going to be a Sunday we believe in God for salvations. Not just a regular altar call, but, for real, like we're going to really focus on, all the things that we know that, encompass the evangelist ministry, because we want to be able to show it in church, to show people that are in the church what it's supposed to look like when you go out. So, that one time a month, we just really do something to really focus on and make the whole service evangelistic. So, maybe even on that Sunday, for those that believe that they were called and, have that calling of evangelist, maybe do something where, one of you or something like that can share just, a little bit about your testimony, what God's done in your life, where God brought you from, things that you used to do, what I mean? Because that way, again, it's a testimony to people that are there and people that are listening. You know what I mean? That may not even be there, but I mean, it's still evangelistic, in nature. So it's not just going to be a regular Sunday. We have praise and worship, the, announcements, then the word, then, it just won't be a regular Sunday. We want to do things on that Sunday, again, to be more evangelistic and to show others what that is and what that means and how to share, Christ with others, what I mean? So we want to do things on that Sunday. So, I mean, I'm just, I've just been thinking about this the last couple of days. So like the whole service isn't planned out already or nothing like that. But I'm saying that, just to know that we can really do some things evangelistic, as I said, maybe we can, we can make sure on that particular week we have somebody come that can maybe, do another kind of ministry and song or ministry and dance, or something that's outside of the norm of what we normally do every single Sunday. So it's like having an outreach at church, if that makes sense. It's like going to a park and all the things that we would do, and this person do a testimony, this person do a little bit of testimony, and you get real with your testimony. So that way, if there's people that's there that really got some things that they're dealing with, they can really, identify, and then, once those things are done and people have ministered in song and ministered in dance, then there may not even be no quote unquote word given that Sunday, because the people that are giving their testimonies, that could probably be the word that's given with everything else. And then Pastors Allen Noel will get up at the end, do the altar call, minister to people, so on and so forth. If there's anyone else that needs to be ministered to, as we talked about before, they'll call on different ones of you to come up and help them pray for people and all of that good stuff. So, we would just really make it an evangelistic Sunday, because again, if we're going to have a move of God, like I said, we as a church we as a leadership have to be able to steward that move of God to make sure it's not just something that happened and we've gone on to do something totally different now, something else, and we done forgot about evangelism. That just happened in 1 month and that's it. So we don't want to do that. Everything that God does, we want to be able to steward that in some way, shape, form, or fashion. We may not be able to have a particular Sunday every single month like we're doing with evangelism, but I believe evangelism is important enough for us to have a Sunday that's dedicated to it.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
yes, Elder B.
Okay. So when are you planning to do the evangelist class? You have 4 people signed up. So when are you planning to work on that?
I want to do that either. I don't know how soon would be too soon because I'm coming back this coming weekend. I always come in on Saturday morning. So I could do it sometime on Saturday, or if that's too soon and everybody can't come, we can just work on another week that I can come down and do it. So is this Saturday you guys think is too quick?
Oh, let me see.
I think it is because
I know, yeah, it is because I have something to do Saturday. I already lined up.
Am I signed up?
Who?
Me, Beverly.
Who is me? No.
I want to sign up.
None of you guys signed up. Everybody was the visitors that came.
Oh,
remember I told you after church Sunday to sign me up.
I got you, Gloria.
Okay.
I want to sign up.
I'll sign up too.
Whatever it is.
Okay. So then what we'll do, I can come down another week. You guys just got to let me know what week would be good for me to come. And then I'll just make arrangements to just come on that week and do that class. Because I really do want to do that class for everybody that's, interested in it and really want to do it. And I can really go, deeper and more in depth on the evangelist anointing, the evangelist office, and, some practical things to do as you go out and do what you do. So that way you're not like a person that's just out on the street just yelling at people, and we don't want to do that. We want to be effective in what we do.
Okay, yes. So the elders, we do have a meeting this Sunday after church, so we can get all of our stuff together, the dates that you want to do it, who's going to be in town. So this will be our first actual elders meeting. So I'd like for everybody to be there for their input.
Okay. You want to start it like next month, the 4th Sunday in May?
Can we wait till we get in the meet?
Yeah, let's discuss it in the meeting, not now.
Okay.
Okay, that's all I have.
Yes, ma'am.
So I know you said
Saturdays work for you.
Yeah, because I'm not in Phoenix, so I only come. I can be down here weekends. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, unless I come, But if I do it on a Sunday, the other people that signed up don't go to the church. You know what I mean? So
right,
you want to make
they'll be at their church.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, Miss Beatrice, you said there's a meeting after church Sunday. Is this going to be after the baptism? Unmute.
You're muted.
Sorry. Yes, it'll be at the end of service, like we always have our meetings. After everything is over, then we'll have our meeting.
I'm gonna be at Shamar baptism, so if it's right after church, I'm gonna be outside. I have guests coming.
This will be after church is over.
Baptism is after church.
Okay.
After the benediction, after everything is done, after baptism. Okay, it'll be after everything is done. So you just have to hang around a little while.
Okay.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, well, if they don't, that's on them. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm going to start muting everybody.
I will.
Okay, so just so I'm making sure, did we say what weekend would work for everybody? Because I know everybody said that we can't do it this coming weekend. It was too soon. Or, I just want to make sure that whenever we do it, that people can be there, because I don't want to have to do 2 or 3 different ones. I just want to do one.
We're gonna discuss it in the elders meeting and come up with a date.
Right,
And
but
then
we'll
she'll let you know, and then she'll let you know that Sunday
And
night.
then I'll let you know once we come up with the date.
but why would that date be based on what the elders think? Is it just the elders going to the class, or we got to find out what the people that signed up?
Majority of the people are elders. So majority of the
I thought you said that the people that signed up was just people that
we
came.
have 4 visitors,
Okay.
but the rest of them are church elders.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. So let me know on Sunday, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, so and again, you guys, be thinking about something, and different things to make that Sunday be extraordinary. Whether we want to decorate that Sunday, put some balloons in the church, whatever the case is, let's just do something. Let's come up with some things to make that Sunday super celebratory, super exciting, super, with the music that we're playing, with everything that we're doing. We want to be evangelistic that Sunday.
Yes.
We don't want to be, regular. We don't want to be religious. We want to be evangelistic that Sunday. That means we may have to play a little bit of rap, a little bit of R&B, Christian hip hop, and all the rest of that stuff. We want to be evangelistic. We want to be able to make sure that we're doing things on purpose to draw, because if the whole church is going to be involved in helping to bring people on that particular week, because I believe, this fourth Sunday is not Easter. This is third Sunday is Easter this month, right? That's a third Sunday. And then fourth Sunday is just a regular fourth Sunday. All right. So So we won't do it this third Sunday because, again, this is Easter. I believe everybody's already going to bring somebody on that particular week. And people are just going to come to church because it's just one of those days that people just come to church. So we'll start working on that for the following month on the third Sunday. No, fourth Sunday. Did we say fourth Sunday or third Sunday? Fourth. Okay.
Fourth Sunday.
Fourth. Yeah. So so we have a whole month and a half to work on this evangelistic week. So each week we're going to take a piece of this meeting to talk about and work on the next meeting. And just so we're all on the same page. A lot of this stuff soon you guys will just be doing on your own. So we're a part of it right now to kind of get you guys used to different things, to kind of start thinking about, talking about how to operate as the leaders of the church, how to operate as the elders, the ministers, different things you guys got to come up with to be able to present to Pastors Al and Noel, because, we don't want to make this to where, there's a bunch of, decisions being made. And then, you guys just kind of just hear what the decision is. And then you kind of go on about your business and you're not really a part of the decision-making process. Because then there's really no reason for you to be a part of the meeting. We want you a part of the meeting so that way you can really be a part of the decision and you can really play your role in helping to run the church, helping to rule the church. Because remember, elders help rule. And then they also bring order, and they also teach. But then the ministers, you all are a part of actually making sure everything happens. When something is decided, you all get in there and you guys get stuff done. If there's a place that needs to be filled in, you guys do that. But at the end of the day, we all want to make sure that we're being a part of the decision-making process. So once this meeting is over, I don't want everybody bombarding Pastors Al and Noel with all of your ideas. We want to do all the ideas in here so that way we start getting used to what we do in meetings. And then those that have already been selected to deal with Pastors Al and Noel can just bring what everybody has decided to Pastors Al and Noel for the final answer, be it a yes, be it a no, or be it a yes, but we want to change this, or a no, but we can still do that. But let's not, continually, be quiet in this meeting. And then when it comes to, you saying, well, I think this and I think this and I think that, and all of a sudden you got all these ideas. We don't want to do that. We want to do all of that in this meeting. And then,
Okay, Apostle Tim?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I had been doing some things, and I have some things that I would like to do with the people that's in the outreach, and I've already started doing some things. that I probably need to talk to you about and pastor about. And I haven't had a chance to speak with anyone yet, but one of the things that I was wanting to do is have a workshop, not just something that we're just teaching them, but for them to actually demonstrate, actually do the hands-on, actually do the witnessing, how to witness, how to lead a person to Christ, a workshop, not so much as just a class.
Yeah,
something where they're actually participating.
Absolutely, and that's actually what the teaching or the class or whatever that I'm doing is it's actually hands-on, and people actually getting up and actually participating, and because I'll teach them how to lay hands and all the rest of that, because every some people lay hands on different areas of the body, which you can't do that, especially when just witnessing the people. That's for impartation and everything else. So how to lay hands, where to lay hands, how to minister to somebody, when to know how to back up, when to know when to press in, all of those different things. So that's great that you mentioned that, because that can actually be that is actually going to be a part of it. But I would still like to hear some of your ideas of that, because there could be more things that I can incorporate into even what I already have going on, just to kind of make it more better. So I would absolutely love that.
Okay.
What you can do, Miss Cynthia, Elder Cynthia, get with Elder Beatrice so she can schedule a meeting with Tim, Apostle Tim, because you need to schedule a meeting with him. Don't wait until the class date to give y'all schedule a meeting with him.
Yeah,
so
because
can,
I really need to get an appointment and actually let Elder B know some of the things that I've already got set and
well, no, you
set
don't have to
up.
let Elder Beatrice know. You need to schedule a meeting with Elder Beatrice to let Tim know what day you guys can meet.
Okay, so any day is okay with me. So
so just do that, and it can be done from there.
Okay,
great.
I've got 2 questions.
Yes.
Okay, the 4th Sunday, I would like the children to be involved. I think that's important.
Okay.
That for church service, and also if they can also be included in the workshop. I think that would be great for them.
Okay.
My age children in my classroom.
So we would have to get a specific, person to do the one for the kids instead of having the kids being a part of the adult one, because there may be things that we're talking about that they really don't understand.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it.
So maybe what we'll do is you'll be a part of the class that I'll do, and then you can make your own class from that class.
Okay.
For the kids. Yeah,
okay.
I think that would be great. Yeah, because we definitely want the kids to be a part of the soul winning thing too, and get them to start bringing their friends and everything.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Well, they've been out soul winning.
Awesome.
And then Elder Cynthia. Okay, so you've got a team, right? You said that you've asked me to be on it. So is anybody else on the team?
You're muted, Elder Cynthia.
Sorry. I have a few people that said they wanted to be on it. I hadn't gotten back. Well, one of them I did. But yes, I wanted to meet with the people. I also had Pastor Cedric and Robert said if I needed him. So right now, as far as I know, I have 4 people that said they would. I also have an outreach that I have been working on. So what my idea was is to have various areas of ministry, not just street ministry. Street ministry is important, but other areas of the community as well, besides street.
And
some
that'd be
people
something
may not.
That'd be something that you will discuss with Apostle Tim.
Okay, I've got a
Okay, yes, all right, I will do that.
I've just got a question. Okay, so and this is just a question to you. So if you've got 4 people that, want to work with you. So could you have a meeting with all of us before you go to
Yes, that's what I planned on doing. That's why I
Apostle
asked you
Kim?
about Friday.
Okay.
And you said you were
'Cause we might-
available Friday.
For me?
You told me
Okay.
you were available on Friday when I asked you.
And
I
so
think
just
it
having
was
y'all do it,
Wednesday.
to get it all
Yeah,
together, then
Okay.
we'll
works
get
with
it
Tim.
together.
Okay.
I'll call you. I'll
Yeah,
call you.
because I guess now that you said that, that's good, because I was wanting to kind of go into that a little bit too, about the difference between outreach and evangelism.
Mhm.
Outreach is us just going out to the community, being a blessing to the community, showing the love of Jesus to the community with, food, with water, with resources, with, ways to get off the street, with uh, uh, personal hygiene products. I mean, it's just really just
Yeah.
ministering to people on the love of Jesus, giving things to the community and just loving on them. Where evangelism, we don't have nothing to give except Jesus. Evangelism, we're not going out there with nothing. We're going out there, preaching the gospel to people, ministering the gospel to people. If need be, praying for people. If need be, asking God to do miracles for people. If need be, casting demons out of people and preaching the gospel to bring people to Jesus. So that's the difference between outreach and evangelism. So I believe churches do outreach a lot. And that's a lot of churches do outreach. We're just going out there showing the love of Jesus, ministering to people. That's great. But I'm wanting to, the thing that I'm believing that we should be focusing on right now. Not saying we don't want to do outreach, because we do still want to do outreach, but we want to focus more on evangelism, with going out and just preaching the gospel to people, laying hands on the sick, watching them recover, and really allowing the power of God that's in us to flow out of us to the people that need it. And I believe that we'll be able to see those results in everything that we do. So when you guys meet, make sure you're talking about those things as well. Just how you guys want to really focus on that as you begin to go out, as you begin to set these things. Because whenever I do the class or the training, it's going to be more focused on evangelism and not outreach. Again, outreach is good, and we'll still do outreach, but right now the focus we want to focus on is evangelism, which again is preaching Christ to people, getting people saved, laying hands on the sick, casting out devils. Those are the things that go along with evangelism, where again, outreach is more about just ministering to people, as far as with physical things, with food, with water, with resources. You can get off the street, you can go to a shelter, we can get you in here, we can get you in over there, we can help you get your bills paid, we can help you do this, we can help you do that. We have all these different resources that we can point people to, if they want it, if they need it. So that's more so outreach. All right. So, or if people just need, food on a consistent basis, we can connect them with a food bank, or if we have a food bank, or whatever the case is. These are all outreach things. All right. So but right now we want to focus on evangelism. So that way, Christ is preached, and not just, people's physical needs are met. We want to get people's spiritual needs met. And through their spiritual needs being met, their physical needs can be met as well. All right. So yes, Elder Angel.
What if you go into the shelters or the nursing home and minister to the gospel, like have a service or something there? Is that evangelism, or is that still outreach?
That's definitely evangelism. And the way to do that is to, again, either Elder B, but we'll get a way that I Am Church can go into the nursing home, so that way it's not an individual person. We want to be able to have the ministry be represented whenever we do that, so that way there can actually be, because if you go in, they'll ask for your credentials and all the rest of that anyway. So with your credentials being from I Am, it's better for the church to go in instead of for an individual to go in. But the individual will represent the church, but the church will be the thing that's known. So they'll say, I Am Church is here in the nursing home or the group home or wherever you're going, and this is the minister that's from that ministry, and that way the church is represented. But I think that would be outstanding, and that is definitely evangelism, because you're going in to actually still preach to the people, to minister Christ to them, not necessarily to do a Bible study per se, unless everybody in the nursing home gets saved. Then once they get saved, now it's time to move to a Bible study, because now y'all are saved and y'all can be discipled now. But if everyone they saved, we wouldn't want to start a Bible study, with a bunch of sinners. That just wouldn't make sense, because sinners don't understand the Word of God. So it would be quite difficult to try to teach or minister to sinners on a weekly basis, or however often we went in, if they're not born again yet. Because the only message sinners need to hear is Jesus Christ being crucified and raised again from the dead for their sin. Outside of that, sinners don't need to hear no other message. Preach Christ to them, period. That's it. Okay. So
I've got a question.
I think that would be an outstanding idea, though, Elder Angel. Outstanding idea to be able to have the whether it's hospitals, whether it's nursing homes, whether it's I think they even do something like that where you can go down to Cass and do some things like that as well, which is the homeless area. I think it's called Cass, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Cass, yeah. So all of those different things, they are outstanding evangelistic opportunities. Okay. Plenty of people to lay hands on, plenty of devils to cast out, plenty of sicknesses and diseases that need to be healed. So those are areas that the gospel can be preached. People are wanting to receive, people are waiting to receive, and so I think that'll be great.
Apostle Tim,
Yeah.
so when you have an outreach, should a couple of evangelists go out with them? It doesn't have to be a lot, but you have people that you can minister the gospel to.
If somebody just has an outreach?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I think that people still share Jesus at outreaches, but the outreach is more focused on just ministering to the needs of the people that are out there that you're ministering to, which again includes the food and the this and the that and the resources and everything else. So it's not, so when you're in the outreach, the even though somebody may be prayed for, somebody may get saved, that's still not the focus, if that makes sense.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So it's not
like
focus.
No,
give you an example, like Elder Beatrice, she does a food ministry. It's hers is for more of a just servicing the people. And then she's saying Jesus loves you, but it's really not soul winning. And like, she's not going out there with her focus of soul winning. Her focus is to help the needs of the people. People didn't get a chance to eat today. People didn't get a chance to have no clothes today. So she's mainly just servicing the people and just showing the love of Christ from her overflow on how she wants to serve the people.
I understand.
Hers is more outreach.
I understand that, but I mean, that's like you say, we need to take advantage of every opportunity that we have. So
but she goes out every week, 2 or 3 times a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's
not just, it's if someone tell me they need prayer,
absolutely,
I pray for them. I don't mind touching them. I pray for them. Mm-hmm. So it's not just, I do more than just feed them, but that's what I did at first to get them to trust me.
Right.
And to talk to them about God. I do that as well.
Mm-hmm. So you do both.
Yes, I do.
One and the same, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But her focus is more so on just attention to their
needs.
But if she sees an opportunity or someone comes to her about prayer, then she's definitely going to pray for them. She's definitely going to minister to them. She's definitely going to lead them to salvation. But that's just not the focus, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think that.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that that's one of the things that in the body, I think that we haven't learned like the difference between the two.
Yeah.
The difference between the outreach and the difference between evangelism, because the understanding is never really understood, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And that's why sometimes we think we're doing these things. And that's why some of it, when we think that we're doing evangelistic things, it's not effective, because really it's just outreach.
Outreach, yeah.
And a lot of times people are just calling it evangelism or being evangelistic.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, you know, again, you know, both of them are needed, but we just got to know what we're doing at what time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. When I volunteered to take over or to head the outreach or evangelistic team, I wasn't just sitting home twiddling my thumbs. So I have things that I do need to talk over. And as far as the outreach, I called it an outreach because going into the nursing home, I figured we're going out of the building and we're giving something, we're giving them Jesus in that arena. Whereas some people may feel uncomfortable on the street. They may be able to talk to someone in the store, but maybe to people on the street, they may not be comfortable. They may be more comfortable in a different area or arena. Some people may not even want to go out at all and may just want to send. And then that's good too. But I was thinking it would be wonderful for everyone at IM to participate. If it's no more than making a sack lunch, if you can't do any more than that, that is helping the evangelists to go out, or to the workers to go out, the soul winners to go out. All of that is helps. All of that is helping. And so as far as the classes and things like that, I feel that we really need to get together. I know that you're apostle, and I respect you, and I know that your teachings are wonderful, and we're on the same page.
Yeah.
We are on the same page, so much so. And like I said, it's different areas that I wanted to present to IM, because everybody is not a street minister, and everybody, you know, they may feel more comfortable in a arena where it's more controlled, but still you're giving them Jesus. That way, everybody can participate and be comfortable in the area that they're in, rather than, oh, well, I'm not going to do it, or that's not me, or that's not something that the Lord told me to do, which, yeah, we all are ministers of reconciliation, as you said on Sunday. That's true. So I just wanted to make it so simple that anybody would ever, if this area is not for you, then how about this area then? You know, and then that way,
well,
everybody could participate.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but I believe personally, and Pastor Allen, Pastor Noel can jump in at any time if I'm off or if I'm wrong, but I believe that everybody that is in ministry wants to be a minister, believes God's called them to preach or called them to teach or do any kind of ministry at all. If you can't minister to somebody else or be a part of the ministry that does minister to other people and help bring people to Jesus or help serve other people, then you're not ready for ministry, because ministry is not Sunday morning. Ministry is whenever ministry needs to happen, whoever it needs to happen with. It does, you know, ministry is not always pretty. Ministry is not always what you would a suit on or a dress on or whatever the case is. Ministry is, you know, when it's inconvenient. Most of the time, ministry is inconvenient. Ministry is spelled inconvenient, you know, so this is not about everybody's convenience. This is like, okay, this is the day that we've set aside that once a month, just one time a month, we're going to get together. And, you know, if we're going to do something where it's more of an outreach and we're going to do food, then, you know, let's get a little line of people that, you know, you bring bread, I'm going to bring some bologna, you bring some cheese, I'm going to bring some water, and we're going to put these bags together, and we're going to do it together. And then we're going to go take them out and give them to people together. And that could be more of the outreach, or sometimes we all going to come, we all going to pray. first, and then we'll disperse in the different areas, or we can go by twos or by threes or in different groups, and we're going to minister Jesus to people. But I'm saying I believe everybody needs to have that to be a part of your being in leadership. You can't say that you're in leadership, but you just want to minister on Sunday morning when there's a microphone in your hand. That's not ministry. So, until, I'll always tell people, until you've done children's ministry, until you've done some street ministry, until you've encountered a couple of devils, until you have laid hands on the sick, then you're not ready for a microphone yet. So, most folks say that they're not going for the microphone and they don't need to be up in front of nobody. But, in order for us to say that we're in ministry at some point, that's going to have to be what we do. Because if you're not in ministry to minister to anybody, then why are you in ministry? Yep. It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So you can't say that you don't want this and you don't want that, but then that means you shouldn't be in ministry then if you don't want any of that. Because the only way you're going to minister is if you're up before people. But I'm saying that I just don't want it always to be that you can only be in front of people when it's a Sunday morning, a Wednesday night, or whatever the case is. We have all these other opportunities for people to be able to reach people. And we got all of these ministers, all of these elders, and all of these pastors. We should have the church full with just y'all. Don't nobody else minister to nobody in the church. The church should be full with the people that's on this live or on this Zoom right now. Because all of you are ministers already. Some of you are ministers that have just started and you're licensed ministers or about to be licensed ministers. Some of you are elders. That means that you've been doing it for a while. You've already come up through the ranks. Some of you are pastors. You've been doing it for even longer and you come up through the ranks. And so your ministry and your eldering and your pastoring is not just what we do on Sundays. It is what we do throughout the week. It is how we conduct ourselves. It is how we minister to people outside of church. It is how we communicate Jesus to people. Are we super spiritual? Are we down to earth? Do we know how to build a bridge from our heart to theirs before we ever minister Jesus to them at all? Or do we just come straight out the gate and we just start going? No, you got to learn how to build that bridge from your heart to theirs, get some things that's in common with each other. And then as they begin to trust you and begin to open up more, now I can share Jesus with you. So, there's a way that we minister effectively. There's a way that we present Jesus. It's not just, this is what it is. And then that's it. Yes, Brother Speed, Minister Speed.
And it's such a skill.
It is.
Because I watch a lot of evangelism videos as well, and I'm just like, they could have did that better. They could have been like I deal with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? I'm still kind of I'm in the dating scene, so I deal with a lot of different women, and it's like, I just like, I kind of get what they believe in. That's, I put out, I did it today. Oh, I'm a believer in Jesus Christ, blah, blah, blah. Then they tell me their faith. And then from that point on, you can, you choose whether you want to even, some people you just need to be friends with. You just be like, be nice to. Just, Jesus not, what I'm saying, don't need to be the first thing to come out your mouth. You just need to be nice to him and love him. And when you be nice to him and love him, people go through stuff. And one day you'll be that person they can come to. You know what I'm saying? And, they ask you because they see your joy in you. They see you always smiling and being happy and they're going through stuff. And then they be like, why are you happy? And then that's when you can Jesus Christ, break it down. So it's really like a real skill to it. And that's something I constantly work on. I feel like I always want to do this. I think this is very important. I wouldn't say have a script, but being able to practice what to say.
Yeah. In different situations. Yeah.
Being able to really practice those words, getting your words right for different situations. For someone that's maybe homosexual or homeless or this and that. They have their own ways you can minister to them.
Right.
And so that's like, I think we should always like implement just like really like, not like I said, not a script, but because I feel like if you, it's really supposed to come from the heart. But a foundation on how to, really say certain things. So.
Agreed.
But yeah, but that's what that class is all to be about. That's why I'm saying when you guys have a meeting that Cynthia's going to call, then you guys go to the meeting, bring all you guys' ideas on how we
bring
can
all of that. Absolutely.
Bring all the ideas to Miss Cynthia. So when Miss Cynthia get with Elder Beatrice to get with Apostle Tim, then Apostle Tim can then from there say how you're going to present it all. But all that'll be all in there. We can present it all. We can move forward and we can start doing it. But you mean, so just come with all, everyone come with, Miss Cynthia, Elder Cynthia, she'll come with whoever want to be a part of that class, she'll text everybody, or she'll send Belinda or Pastor Noel. So Pastor Noel, Belinda can let you guys know what date that's going to be. Then from there, it'll all get situated. So if everybody can do that, that'll be an awesome thing.
Right.
Absolutely. Outstanding. Right. So yeah, y'all, again, and this is, these kind of meetings, these kind of discussions is how a church is really ran. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't just about, again, the Sunday morning. Like sometimes we don't even think about ministry. We don't think about church until it's time for us to do what we got to do on Sunday morning or Saturday. You know what I mean? And it's like ministry really got to happen throughout the week. And there's things that got to happen during the week in order to make Sunday happen. And there's things that we got to do on purpose, again, to steward these moves of God that we have prayed for and we have, studied for and we have worked for and we have labored for, instead of just throwing that move of God away and going on to something else. We don't want to keep doing that. We want to make sure that if this is something that we believe God started in this ministry, and we believe that there's been an anointing released in this ministry for it, then we got to be able to steward that and really be able to implement some things on purpose to make sure that this thing carries on for the rest of the ministry's life. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to be a part of who we are. This is one of the staples of this ministry is soul winning. We want to keep expanding the kingdom of God. And as a byproduct of us always expanding the kingdom of God, I Am Church will also expand. So it's not really about getting a big church. It's about getting the kingdom to expand, but by making the kingdom to expand, it will grow the church. Amen. Okay, so our motives and what we do and why we do it. If the motive is to just really win people to Jesus, really minister to people, really allow my life to be used to bring somebody else into the kingdom, I mean, that's going to be exciting. And if we get excited about it, then the people in the church will get excited about it. That's what's so important about the elders and the ministers and the leaders. Whatever you guys are is what's on the people. Okay, so if they don't see y'all involved, they won't be involved. If they see y'all lethargic and not really being involved in nothing, they're going to be lethargic and being hard to get involved in anything. So we want you guys to be excited. We want you guys to be involved with what's going on with the ministry, as far as how the ministry operates, as far as different things that Pastor Allen Noel, the different initiatives that they pull out and say, hey, this is what we're going to start doing. This is what we're believing God for now. Like, does anybody remember what Pastor Al said? Because I heard him on Sunday. Does anyone remember what he said, that, what he's believing God for as far as the amount of people to be in there for, I believe, by the end of the month, and then what he wants by the end of the year?
160. Double the amount.
160 was it?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 160.
160.
So 160 was the end of the month or the end of the year?
The end of the year.
The
on
end of the
Sunday.
Year. Yeah, he
everybody brought someone.
He mentioned it on Sunday. He was saying he was believing for this much, I believe, by Easter or the end of the month. And then he said,
I thought he said 125 by Easter.
125 by Easter. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then what did he say for the end of the year? Because he mentioned,
I want to say, I don't know if he said 250. I'm not sure. I don't remember the end of the year. I remember he said Easter.
Okay.
I said 125 on Easter and 125 that's consistent in the church by the end.
That's consistent by the end of the year. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the number's still 125, but it's 125 on Easter Sunday, and then by the end of the year, be at 125. That's just coming consistently. Okay. Right. And I believe that's more than doable. Again, with just this group, if the rest of the church don't get involved, just this group right here can do that. Because if all of y'all brought one person to Jesus a month, and I don't think that's a lot to ask ministers, elders, and pastors to bring, to just bring one person, minister to one person, minister Jesus to one person, and then help them get connected to the church. That's who you are as a minister, as a pastor, as an elder. You're an influencer, and you want to influence them in a way that's going to be a blessing to their life. Influence them to not just join the church, influence them to be a part of the church, to get involved with the church, to usher, to greet, to be, do you like kids? Do you like to sing? Do you play an instrument? Like, get with them, like find out who they are, find out what they do, find out what they like, find out where their passions are. I mean, that's a part of your responsibility as the person that's ministered to them. So, you're really helping them to grow. And in turn, the church is growing because you're helping one individual to grow per month. You know what I mean? So you don't want to do anything to make them dependent upon you. But at the same time, you're going to be responsible to them for them, getting connected with the ministry, and really making sure that what's happening with the ministry, they know about. Hey, I'll see you at that event. I'll see you next Sunday. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Make sure you talk to me when you see me next week. Make sure you come up to me in case I'm doing something. I'm going to be looking for you. I want you to be looking for me. So now people know that somebody's waiting on me. Somebody's waiting to see me when I come to church. Somebody's looking for me. They're expecting me to be involved. And it's not just like, okay, whether I want to be involved or not is really up to me. Nobody really wants me. No one's really looking for me. No one really is expecting me to do anything. You have to make sure that they understand that you're looking for them, that they understand that you're wanting to see them. You're wanting to talk to them. You're wanting to engage with them on a weekly basis, every single Sunday. I want to see you. Make sure if you're going to miss, you let me know. Let me know if you need something, you let me know. Let me know if you need prayer for something, just want to talk about something, let me know. So now it's like it's becoming like your responsibility now to really get these individuals in and connected to the church. That's a part of all of our responsibility. When we minister to people, it's not just to minister and then just kind of leave them alone and leave them on their own. No, we have to help them in this process of them, connecting to the church and being a part of the church. So let's do that. I believe it's going to be great. Does anybody else have anything?
How many people been working on your people for Easter? How many people working on your people?
Yeah.
Good.
Invite that person.
Good. You mean, because that's the goal you want to be working on, people you believe in God for, and you're communicating with them on a daily basis. Like sometimes I be just texting good morning, or I say good afternoon or good evening. How's everything going? I text them. That's another way of form of communication. Or a phone call. Just work on communicating with them, because versus you just calling them. Hey, can you come to church with me? That's a different type of evangelism. You know what I mean? So you got to know how to communicate with them. Some people like, okay, they must want me. They must want something. They want me to come to church then. So versus just them, really wanting to get into church. So find ways to communicate with people. Find ways to talk to people that they just don't see it just as a thing that you're just doing just because you want them to come to church. But find ways how you can get them involved in church and joining the church and joining the ministry. So that's one thing I'm doing. I'm constantly communicating with them on a daily basis. How you doing? Everything good? So find ways to communicate.
Yeah.
Okay. So we good?
Yeah.
Sound like everything's good.
All right.
Okay, but I know before we go, Pastor Noel.
Okay, let me stop the recording, and then Elder Beatrice is gonna take it. 1 second.